Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this wonderful storytime hour with authors Sherry and Rachel. They wrote a book called Addie's Me Cave, which is a wonderful story, and I'm so excited for them to share it with you today. This event is being recorded, so you can go back and listen to the book anytime. The books are for sale right behind you. See, they're in our bookstore right now. They're in our bookstore right now. And Addie's Me Cave is for sale at Napa Book Mine. And you can shop online with us any old time. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell us all about the books. Okay, all about the book. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. We're super excited to be here and in the bookstore. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. And you can see our book here. And we're going to sign some of these guys and we'll leave them here. So if you guys want to, come in and get one, they'll be nice and signed and ready for you. But I am Sherry Palladino. I am one of the authors of Addie's Me Cave.
And I'm Rachel Ostrowski, and I'm the other author of Addie's Me Cave.
We're excited to be here with you. I'm actually a teacher, so I know a lot about kids. And
I'm a marriage and family therapist, so I know a lot about helping kids and families with big feelings.
Yeah. So we wrote a book today about both of those things, about kids and big feelings.
We did.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to read it to them, Rachel?
Here it is. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we will do questions after. All right. So here's the cover. Addie's Me Cave by Rachel Ostrowski and Cheryl Palladino, and is illustrated by Sarah Kuba. And I think you're going to really like these illustrations. Oh, this is one we signed already. Look at that. Isn't that special to get a book when you see the author signed it? It's really special. All right. There we go. All right. And in the very front, this is a great letter we wrote to the loving adult who reads this book. It's a little bit of information that adults might like to have about helping kids with big feelings. And look at that down there. This is a little guy you're going to meet in the story. His name is Puffy. All right. And we dedicated this book to our children. All right. It's just not fair, Addie said as she sat on the edge of her bed, palms pressed tightly to her cheeks. Her room was filled with toys, books, dolls, pictures, and since she shared a room, all of her twin sisters' things too. Why can't I play with the big kids? She asked herself, stomping over to her sister's toys. I feel like my tummy is an exploding volcano. Then she kicked her sister Sammy's favorite teddy bear across the room and out the bedroom window. A few minutes later, Addie's mother came into the room holding the dirty teddy bear. With a curious voice, she remarked, "It sounds like you are upset. I'm here if you would like to talk about it." "I don't want to," shouted Addie in anger. She could feel her face warming up and bees buzzing in her heart. Every muscle in her body felt tight and ready to fight.
Do you ever feel that way? Yeah? What does it look like when you feel that way? Show us with your angry face. Do you have an angry face? We all feel angry sometimes.
And look, the bees in her heart. You ever feel your heart get really, really big? It might have different feelings, but you feel it pumps really fast and it feels like the blood is going all through your body, right? Addie's mom sat on the bed next to her. "It sounds like you have a lot of feelings right now. I've noticed sometimes they might feel too big for your body. When this happens to me, I like to have some space that is my own. Would you like to have a place just for you?" With her arms crossed, Addie looked up at her mom and nodded her head with intrigue. She's so curious. What is her mom going to show her? Addie's mom led her down the staircase. Under the stairs were cupboard doors. Kneeling down, she said, "Anytime you have a feeling that you are not sure of, or if you need your own space, I want you to come to your very own little cave. But before you enter, you must take a magic breath." Okay, let's try this with Addie. Her mom showed her how to breathe in through her nose and fill up her belly like a balloon, and out through her mouth to make her big tummy balloon deflate. Would you like to bring a few of your favorite things? How exciting. Addie ran back up the stairs to grab her favorite things. Her special blinky and penguin, since it can get cold when you are cooling down, art paper, markers, and a colorful kaleidoscope. As she brought them into her cave, her mother explained, "This safe space is only for you. I will be here if and when you want to share or need help with your feelings." Wow, that's really special. Her mom gently kissed her on the forehead and closed the door, leaving her to her thoughts. Addie crawled into her space and lined up her toys. She spread out her blanket and snuggled into a pillow that her mom had put in the corner. The blue walls made her feel like she was sailing over the calming waves of the deep blue sea. She picked up the kaleidoscope in one hand and held her stuffed penguin tight in the other. Addie laid back into her pillow, taking deep breaths while she watched the squares and triangles in her kaleidoscope slowly fall into shapes. With her trusty penguin Puffy by her side, she was starting to feel the bubbles in her belly float away. She had received Puffy as a gift when she was a baby from her favorite auntie. Ever since he had been her faithful companion and was always the one to help her feel better when feelings got too big. This is one of my favorite pages.
Like all the rainbow
Look at that.
colors.
Kaleidoscopes are so cool.
Do you have a favorite animal that you like? Maybe it's a teddy bear. Maybe it's a blankie, actually. Sometimes we have blankies that we like. Yeah.
Addie's breaths mimicked the waves of the ocean, and as she took each breath, the salty air tickled her nose. She looked through her kaleidoscope, but she didn't see shapes anymore. She blinked her eyes and shook her head. Could it really be? She had never noticed anything like this before. "Land ho!" cried Puffy. Wow, what's happening? Through the kaleidoscope, she saw something in the far-off distance. She squinted her eyes. Is that what I think it is? Through the lens, she saw a small island with some tall palm trees around the perimeter. She watched the bumpy sand on the island move up and down the coast. As the ocean waves gently crashed along the shore, she noticed that scattered on the interior of the island were many fuzzy, brown, sweet-smelling coconuts. She could see the silliest, goofiest, kookiest monkeys swinging from the branches of the palm trees. She saw the bigger monkeys playing coconut catch, but then the little monkeys would swing down, grab the coconuts, and throw them into the water. They must be feeling left out, said Addie. Those monkeys should not be taking the coconuts, but what can I do? I'm just a little kid. She shrugged and looked at Puffy. Together, the two friends sat and thought, because solving a problem always takes thinking time.
Do you think little kids can solve big kid problems? Do you think little kids can do that? Yeah. Sometimes we all have big problems, and even small kids can do it because they are strong and mighty.
I know. Addie's light bulb clicked on, and they started to make a plan. Addie and Puffy docked their ship and climbed into a small canoe waiting nearby. Together, they paddled across the turquoise water until they reached the island. From afar, Addie watched the bigger monkeys start to look upset, while the little monkeys continued to drop coconuts everywhere. The bigger monkeys were running out of coconuts. Uh-oh. Things were starting to go awry, huh? "Hey, little monkeys," she yelled across the pond. The monkeys stopped and looked surprised to see a little girl and her stuffed penguin on the island. "Why are you throwing the big monkeys coconuts?" she asked. "They won't let us play coconut catch, and that makes us mad," they responded. Addie understood how that felt. I feel that way too. I feel that way when my sisters don't play with me. But taking their coconuts won't solve your problem. The monkeys looked surprised. "Have you tried to talk to them about your feelings?" she asked. The little monkeys looked at Addie and Puffy with hope. Scratching their heads, they climbed down from the trees and turned to the big monkeys. This was something they had never thought of before. When you don't let us play with you, that makes us feel sad, they said with tears in their eyes. Addie had an idea. Why don't you play a game that the big and little monkeys can play together? They all looked at Addie in awe. Turning to each other with excitement, they scattered to pick up the coconuts. Together, they started a new game, Coconut Soccer. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Wouldn't that be fun to have enough coconuts to play coconut soccer? When the game ended, they started to clean up their mess and put a pile of coconuts into Addie's canoe with an ooh ooh ah ah. Addie felt like a rainbow had spread across her heart. She was very proud that she had helped these monkeys make a better choice and solve their problems using their words instead of throwing things. Well, Puffy, I guess it's time to go. Addie and Puffy headed back to the ship, coconuts in tow. They waved goodbye to their new friends on the island as they turned their canoe around to head back home. As they sailed on the waves, she started to smell something familiar.
Hey guys, can you make the monkey sound just like they did? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Can you do that? You can be a monkey too. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Addie, called her mom. It's time for breakfast, dear. Addie opened the cupboard door. As she crawled out, she noticed Sammy's teddy bear sitting on the table. Feeling sad, she had hurt her sister's feelings. She thought to herself, I need to make this better. She decided to wipe the teddy bear clean and give him back to her. Wow. So Addie made a mistake, but she's making it better. I'm sorry I kicked your bear out the window, Addie said to Sammy. I felt left out and you said I couldn't play with you. I felt left out when you said I couldn't play with you. I should have used my words and told you how I felt. Next time I feel the anger in my body, I will take a deep breath and go to my me cave. Her big sister gave her a tight, squishy hug. It hurt my feelings when you made that choice, but I'm proud of you for cleaning off my bear and apologizing. So Addie made a repair. Just then, her mom came into the room. Wow, Sammy's teddy bear looks so clean. Your alone time must have helped you think about better choices. You must be proud of yourself for solving your problem. I have our coconut pancakes ready for breakfast, and for some reason, I have way too many coconuts. A big smile widened across Addie's face. She looked at her mom, then at her sisters, and then down at Puffy. She couldn't stop giggling. She felt her heart fill up with warmth thinking about her new hangout and all the adventures waiting for her. Where did those extra coconuts come from?
Where do you think they came from? She had a lot of coconuts.
I don't know, it's pretty silly. And then here's one of our most favorite pages. In the back of the book, it shows you a diagram of Addie's cave. And then to help the teachers and parents know what to put that might help kids and go in their cave, and even adults if they need a cave. These are some ideas of things they might put in their cave. So we like this page a lot. The end. There we go.
Oh, well, thank you for listening to our story. Are there any questions that you would like to ask us about the story or anything?
You can feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question if you have it.
What questions can we answer for you?
Or you can write them into the chat.
Oh yeah, chat's fine too.
If you don't have a question yet, I have a question for you. Do any of you have a special space you like to go when you have a really big feeling in your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of you do.
Yeah.
Even adults might have a space that they go to help themselves when they have big feelings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
I like to bring my blanket and uni in, but did you know Josetta did not come today? She did not want to.
That's okay.
But you have a blankie that helps you feel better?
And uni.
And a uni. Oh my goodness. I bet it's really special.
And I have a bunny, 2 patches, and here's the meat, and Also, I have a doctor. It's from Cherry's doctor.
Oh my goodness. So you have lots of things that help you feel better, huh?
I have packets.
Thank you for sharing.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, but Josetta's listening on the meeting upstairs. I don't know why.
That's okay. Did you know the place that is in this meat cave is actually a real place? Yeah, it's based off of a true story. Now, the character, the name is the same as somebody we know, but it's not really her. And same with the sisters. They're also based off of somebody we know, but it's not really them and they're not really sisters. But we made a fun story using all of these people that we know and love. And they really do have a space that looks like this under their stairs at Rachel's house.
Yeah. So I noticed I had a daughter. Well, I noticed I have big feelings, and I noticed that
For
one of my
real life,
daughters
I have it.
go- Hold on, I'm going to tell the story, okay? I noticed my daughter she liked to go into little spots when she got frustrated or overwhelmed or just wanted to be alone. And I had space under my stairs, kind of like in this book. And I said, why don't we make you a little spot? And so that's how this story came about. So Sherry came over to my house and said, this should be a story. And we said, yeah, we should make that a story. And it took a little bit of time to get it started. And then we did it. And it was really fun to see it come to life.
Yes.
Because it is fun to see that I have it real life, but then it's also in a book. But it's really fun to see what the illustrator did with it. Because I sent her pictures and then she created what she thinks it would look like based on our story that we made up.
But if you have a special space, it doesn't have to be under the stairs. I know lots of kids who made special spaces, and maybe they had a place in the corner of their room, or maybe they had a little pop-up tent, or I even know somebody who made a space in her closet. But that was just their space. So when they had those big feelings, they had a special spot to go to, because it takes a lot of work to calm down with big feelings.
Yeah. So if you don't know of a special spot already, you can think of one that you might like in your house. And it doesn't have to be super, super big or a certain spot that always stays. It can be movable. You can pick a spot one day here and tomorrow make it somewhere else. You just have to know what helps you feel your best.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, but is that for real life?
The spot?
The spot? Do you have a spot that's real life?
What do you think?
Well,
You
I
mean
do
her-
like to make little caves and forts with my blanket.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good idea. You can make
And is
spot
that
using your blankets.
yeah, and is that actually real life that she has one?
She does. She does. She's very lucky.
But she didn't
Right.
for real life go to an island
No.
and get monkeys and coconuts. That was not for real life. That was all in her imagination.
Yeah.
Her imagination was helping her solve the problem. And it's so fun to imagine and pretend, isn't it? So it's, yeah, you can have your own imagination and you can have your own stories in your special spot.
That was a good question,
Thank
though.
you. Thank you. Really.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions?
If nobody speaks up, I just want to say thank you so much for this wonderful story time and for writing this book. It is a really important book, and important to talk about these big feelings.
Thank you. And we have more will be coming. Hopefully we have another one coming out soon where Addie goes on a new adventure to solve a new problem, because guess what? In life, there's always new problems to solve, right? And no matter what, we have feelings, even some that we might say are good feelings or not so good feelings. And no matter what, they're not always easy to deal with. And so we will have more books come out talking about how to help you when you have all these different kinds of feelings.
So we can't wait to share them with you.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yes. All right.
All right. Have a great weekend, okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.